Hello. Right, I know it's been a while. I'm very sorry. Yeah. I've kind of done a lot of work without really recording. I haven't really been feeling all that well, so, I just played around with Minecraft and did what I wanted. And you may notice a few changes. I will try to let you guys know everything that's changed. I'll probably try to run through all that stuff now, but we'll go through it. So I added a few extra vacuum hoppers, a few more lamps of growth, so all of that stuff still kind of goes around. There's a new thing over here which I was using to create rubber trees, and it seems to work pretty well. I died, so I've lost a few of my tools again. I've still got Hammer Jr. and Not Dud, but some of the other ones are still missing. When I was having this thing work, essentially the block update detector would detect when the rubber sapling grew up, and then this guy here had an axe that was, well, it was my lumber chopper axe which chops down the whole tree. Vacuum hopper would suck it all up. It would put saplings back into this guy which would plant them, so I've got lots and lots of those. Everything else would go into here, so I had lots of rubber for a little while there. You may notice this thing here. That is another thing that's changed a little bit. Just before I go any further, you'll also notice that I've got power armor now with, flight controls, auto feeding, jetpacks and jump assist and sprint assist, etc. Kinetic generator, so it basically gives me back any kind of power that I need. And these guys are cool. Essentially you hop into them, and if you've got, hang on, it'd probably just be easier for me to show you. Let's just go over here and down. Oh, baby. You'll notice a bit has changed over there too. If we head across over here, and back along here, I finally started doing stuff over here. This is the sync mod. Essentially, you can build your own little clones. You use pigs and treadmills, which generate 4 pigawatts per pig, and slowly your little clone will build up. You can go into one of those other pod things which I was standing in just before. So if I was to do, hang on a second. Oh, there's already a body in there. What about this one in here? So, right, let's go to one of these. So when they say done, it means that you've got a constructor, like this one here, that's completely done. So that's what the full thing looks like. You right click on it, it will take a little bit of damage. It's just taking a bit of DNA from you and slowly starts generating. With this body, you can do whatever you'd like. It does seem to still carry everything within here, so I'm still keeping the red heart canisters, because technically you don't die, you're just switching bodies. So that's kind of nice. I'll talk about that part later, and that part too. Is there an easy, and that part too. Like, you guys don't understand how much work I've actually done. Let me just find a way to kill myself quickly. Alrighty, so this is what happens. You have a nice lovely clone body, your clone dies, smashes to bits, you fall right into one of these. And because I've set this as my home shell storage thing, it will try to put me into this one first. Otherwise I think it chooses randomly. You'll know it's your home one because it's got the little blue light there instead of green. But I'll pop into, you can see that that other body I'm making is at 46%. I'll pop back into this one, and back down. Brilliant. So with this power armor, a little bit of a pain. You can create all the servo motors and control circuits, so that tends to be the ones that you use most, but yeah, essentially you just tell it exactly what you want. You can kind of adjust it for what you need. Words, stuff and things. I don't think I've changed anything down here. This thing keeps blowing up. I'm thinking that like wizards or something, the friendly mobs that spawn on this end up hitting creepers and creepers blow up. and so I keep having to put it back together, and I kind of just haven't bothered putting it back together after that last one. This hasn't changed. I've tried to have like a clone for each circumstance, so you know, yellow with his goggles and things, and he works around in here. This area is fine. I mean, it's you know, whatever. Biofuel, you'll see why there's a lot of biofuel there later. I haven't changed this. Got one guy over here, and his sole purpose is to essentially kill things in this room. Room may be a bit smaller than last time, I forget. But that hasn't changed. Down here, I've got pink sheep, if it actually was onto sheep. Or if the sheep had any wool, rather, but it keeps getting chopped up. This room's the same. Since I use a lot of you know, this essence stuff here, it tends to be pretty quick. So all of that stuff tends to drain quite quickly. Not a problem really. I mean, I've got unlimited stuff of that. Since my XP tank is full, it's not picking it up. But that's fine, not a problem. If we go back up here, so it's probably time for me to explain a whole bunch of stuff. Ignore that stuff for now. I needed better power, so we switched over to the green power. I've moved everything from there, you may have noticed, and you may have noticed the stuff in here. So that's kind of cool. Essentially, power feeds from these guys, resonant energy cells. They seem to be quite empty. Sometimes they fill up, sometimes they do not. Essentially 3 sets of those feed into these guys up here, those feed directly into the Tesseract, so I've got lots and lots of energy draining in there very, very quickly. You know, 10,000 on each side there, so that's kind of cool. I could probably put another one up here, I guess. That wouldn't be a problem. If we go down here, we'll see where it's all planned, or all made. This guy here is very, very cool. High temperature furnace generator. If you dump in enough charcoal, like it takes stacks and stacks and stacks, it will generate a ton of energy every tick. So I forget how much it is, but either way, you know, this thing will last for 5 hours. Like, that's how much thing I've got in there. If we look in here, biofuel generator, lots and lots of these. That's why I need a lot of biofuel, so that's kind of cool. And essentially that all pumps out from this guy here, which I may need to put a cover on. I'll think about it. Yeah, I'm still kind of putting all the biofuel generators up, so it should stack to the ceiling by the time I'm done with it. Another one of those, I don't really need one there, but oh well. So that stuff makes a bunch of energy. In order to get all the biofuel for every single one of those, we'll come over here. Now, I made a whole nother ME system. This one's completely detached from the other one. Anytime I have pumpkin seeds or oak saplings or carrots or whatever, it comes into here, which is pretty cool. Over time, it does, well, I think the seeds will run out first, to be honest. Like, that doesn't seem to pick up enough. If it can't fit anything else in here, where is it? Into these things, it will go directly into the trash can. The only other stuff is the stuff here, so it's a little bit different to how I had it before set up against that wall. These bioreactors are more efficient the more stuff you have in there. So potatoes, oak saplings, seeds, pumpkin seeds, carrots, melon seeds, bone meal, cactus green, and lime dye. Essentially, once you've started getting all of that stuff, the only thing you can really go to after that is dyes, and every single type of dye does work. So I have lots of bones for bone meal, have lots of cactus for cactus green, and if I combine those two, then I get lime dye. So maximum efficiency, tons and tons of stuff. Like, I've probably got more bioreactors than I really need, but that's okay, because it means that if this stuff can't flow out, like, if it can't go anywhere, then the stuff essentially just stays into the tanks and then doesn't use up what's in here anyway. So not a problem at all. So that stuff just kind of stays in there. In order to get the bone meal and stuff like automatically cutting down, I've got ME interfaces with learning how to make cactus green, and it's in non-blocking mode for induction furnace, because that thing can, you know, chop down as much as it needs. If it can't fit it in there, then obviously it waits. For macerators or for any kind of industrial craft stuff, remember that since these do count as items, you can't have blocking mode on there. Like, while it may not be able to put items into here, and that may not actually matter, if you put in blocking mode, it won't put stuff into the macerator. So, you know, keep that in mind. And that, you know, counts for compressors and everything like that. Lots and lots of items. You'll kind of see. You've probably seen a lot of this stuff anyway. Like, this is how I'm getting it done. I'm told it to put bone meal, cactus green, and lime dye into exported config, which means that this inventory of the ME interface has them in here. And then we have an item translocator, which says, you know, if it's got bone meal on this one, then put it into the chest, and it wants 64. So at any one point, it has 61 or 64 bone meal, cactus green, and lime dye, and the same thing in the ME interface. And if it doesn't have any of that in the ME interface, it's told to create some with the, you know, with the cactus green and the bone meal and all that good stuff. Ignore that one. What's that one for? Yeah, I don't know. Now, I moved everything. I wanted more space. Essentially, everything is behind here now. There is one odd thing that I didn't quite understand. There's the assembly chamber. 13 pages. Like, it's a 4x4, I think. So the inside has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. It has 27 slots in there. Over half of them are crafting CPUs, and the rest of them are the pattern things. So that's kind of cool. I thought that was kind of funny. So that's good. ME IO port means that you can take one of these, tell it to dump all of its items into the system, or vice versa. If you use, where is it? Can't remember where I put it. Might still be in a chest somewhere. Oh no, it's up here. Partition editor. If you tell it the only types of items are allowed inside of a drive, and you use the MEI port to say, you know, take things from the system and put it into here, it'll only drag out those items, which is how I managed to get rid of all the seeds. And you know, I had 43,000 pumpkin seeds and melon seeds and all that kind of stuff, so made it a little bit easier. Yeah, there is something odd. If I turn this thing off, it doesn't turn off. Like, it's kind of weird. Essentially, I can't remember how I did this. Power relay. I'll show you. So I have the ME controller, which has no stored power, and yet it's still able to use 108 AE per tick, despite the fact that I've turned off the dark cable. Like, redstone energy cell feeds in power into the power relay puts it through the dark cable and into the ME controller. So if I turn this off, or on rather, so that's on, so power can run through, this thing starts storing energy. If I turn it off, it stops storing energy and it uses it all, but somehow I'm still able to use my system. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Supposedly I am supposed to just not use the power relay. Like, if I put the ME controller directly next to the energy cell and then the dark cable after that, it would turn off the system. Excuse me. But I don't think it's really using it how I want it to. Like, I want to be able to shut down everything, including the controller, so I don't really know. Either way, you'll probably wonder why I wanted so much power. Like, hard to say. You can see that all of these are actually being used now, so that's kind of cool. But it is backing up a little bit, so I'll probably have to turn off that system. And how am I getting so much items, you may ask? Well, let me tell you. Wow, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I will show you. Essentially, this is part of why it's taken me so long to put out an episode. I've been not very well, so I've just been, playing around with systems that other people have made. You may remember that many episodes ago I tried making this portal and it wasn't going to work. Now it is. Gate 1 is this portal, gate 2 is somewhere else. And if you watch other people who play with mods, you'll probably understand what this thing is. Yeah, I made one. You may ask why, and I could probably tell you. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is the World Destroyer by Direwolf, or at least I believe it was Direwolf. I think he was the first one that made one anyway. Essentially, I made one of these because I needed a huge amount of resources and I didn't have a whole lot. That is a lot of mobs. Hang on a second. Yes, didn't seem to load much better anyway. So I've gone down here. This is the entire load of carnage that I've caused. I've kind of been playing around with it, just getting it up to scratch. I needed a ton of energy for it, like you have no idea, so it's gone all the way through here. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of resources. Kind of brilliant, and I realize that obviously it's not my design, but I mean, it gets me tons of resources. I think this is where it started. You can kind of tell based on this thing because I messed it up. But not to worry. Yeah, so that's what I needed all that power for. Yeah, like, I'm sorry if I don't seem very happy. I just really haven't been feeling very well. In terms of recording and things like that, my heart kind of hasn't really been into it. Like, it's not that I don't want to, I really do want to record stuff for you guys, but it feels like at this point I'm not really doing anything interesting. I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, a lot of you guys, while some of you stuck around, a lot of the other people that used to watch me don't watch anymore. That's kind of disheartening, not gonna lie. And, it's not a whole, woe is me. I don't really mean to complain or anything like that. But, I don't have the same kind of audience. I can't really record other stuff because, let's face it, you guys mainly just watch me because, I play this, Minecraft. And when I tried to play other games, you guys didn't really watch back then. I don't know. Well, some of you did. Like the hardcore people, I think you guys have just stuck around. And I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. But like in terms of this stuff, I'm just playing around, which I realize is kind of the point, but it doesn't really feel, I don't know. Like for my last few episodes, I kind of build projects and then show you afterwards, like exactly what's kind of happened here. Like with this portal, I've got the portal working again. I created this thing from Direwolf. I've remade some of my systems, moving things around, all that general kind of stuff. Like I've been doing a lot of that while not recording and then showing you later. Whereas before, I think you guys used to watch me because, it was more of a tutorial-esque type thing. Like you guys enjoyed that a lot more. And I don't know, I just feel like I've kind of gotten a little bit stale. Like I'd like to do other things like that. What was it? Agrarian Skies, like the Skyblock thing. I would have loved to play that, but so many other people already did it. And if you're like one of the really hardcore old fans, most of you probably know that I first started doing my Let's Plays, from Skyblock. Like I did the Sky Table series with the old equivalent exchange, and I had a few other mods as well. I think it was like not Feed the Beast, the Technic pack. Yeah, it was the Technic pack, which happened to have the equivalent exchange in there, and that was brilliant. And no one had ever really done anything like that before as a Let's Play, and so that's how a lot of you, came to know me. Part of it was also ended up being like quite a few people found me through tutorial series from some of the wikis, like the tutorials on Equivalent Exchange and on Railcraft and various other ones. I tried doing some stuff like that again, but the other people who help moderate the wikis, they started removing them, saying it was self-promotion. It's like, well, actually, you know, this is kind of what I do. I'm making a tutorial kind of thing. And so that was really disheartening. It's like, okay, cool, so the only thing I really do, you don't like. And so I don't know if they we're just saying, no, we don't want you to do stuff like that here, or blah 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah. So all my other systems, they're still here, you know, like Tesseract stuff and redstone energy conduits and induction smelters and all that general kind of stuff. You have no power. Why don't you have any power? I don't think that's actually plugged in into anything. Oops. I probably forgot. Either way, I can plug that stuff in. 1 second. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, so essentially what I'm trying to say is what do you guys want me to do? Because while I'm still happy to try and, you know, make videos, my heart's not really in this one. While I am very proud of what I've made so far. Like, I spent hours playing around with this one, just getting like an amazing power system going. Like, that was really, really cool. I enjoyed that a whole lot. Like, the fact that I've got all of that essentially just producing stuff to go directly to become fuel. Like, I thought that was kind of cool, because I don't use that kind of stuff for food. And then that goes directly into this area here, turns it into fuel, that gets sent out to the tank ends up getting, sending the power out, not that way, like out here. Like, that's really cool too. Like, it's all kind of huge, like, you know, almost all of it starts right here, generating a whole bunch of cactus, that in turn will end up powering all the lamps of growth that I've got around here. Like, that is awesome. I've got so much cactus to the point where, like, I still have ridiculous amounts of it. Like, there's no way I'm going to end up using all of it. Probably mainly because, yeah, 18,000 cactus. The thing that turns it into, what is it called? I can't remember anymore. My words are not working very well. Probably because I'm sick. This thing here. Alchemical furnace, which in turn turns it into the essence. Like, this thing isn't fast enough, even though... Oh, that's why it's onto charcoal now. That makes a bit more sense. Did wonder why it slowed down. But, like, in turn, I've got one of those things over in here. Oops. Where, like, I could end up producing a whole bunch of elementum constantly. Like, that wouldn't be a problem. I'll probably produce it to the point of overflowing, which is kind of bad. Oops, didn't mean to do that one. Oopsies. Oops, I did it again. 1, 2. There we go. Probably can, like, produce it to the point of overflowing. Bleh. Words, stuff, things. Either way, that thing can produce a lot more now. So, whether or not it can produce it to the point that this thing would always stay full, like, this has to be a water jar, not a void jar, so that it doesn't overproduce things. But yeah, words, stuff, things. I think I've told you more or less everything that's kind of changed. So I've got a new suit. I've got all of these little sink machines here, which are kind of awesome. I've moved everything, like, this is over here. I've got geothermal generators now. That's probably something that I didn't really tell you. With the industrial craft stuff, that I didn't even show you guys that. But this is all the exact same kind of thing, like geothermal generators using the lava generator that I still have. That in turn is going up to the MFE, which in turn outputs it to 512, which, you know, the induction furnace and the macerator can run on. Of course, it doesn't have enough power. Max power is 128. That doesn't seem right. 352. Maybe something's not working properly. Either way, and then to make sure that it doesn't like overflow that system, it's got an LV transformer, which transforms it down to low power, so that it doesn't blow up these other machines over here. Words, man. Yeah, so essentially this is my world. I may or may not end up putting a world download. I'll see how I feel. If it will be in the description down below. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want me to continue on with this series? Do you have another idea? I may consider Agrarian Skies, but I mean there's so many people doing it that, to the point where I just don't think it's worth it. Particularly when most people started forever ago. So yeah, there we go. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Won't be doing any projects today, I'm just not feeling up to it. And we will catch you guys next time. Bye guys.
I've got Minecraft logging every day.